Well, it's time for another video. We've started Billy Joe, and that's kind of a joke because I name my trucks because if you have a couple of trucks or a couple different vehicles, it's hard to tell people which is which, especially if your mother that's elderly or something, whatever, you know, she wants to go home and, oh, we're going to take this truck or whatever, because I have most of my trucks, like this one has a general use purpose. We cleaned her up. She was quite piggy here from the winter. But this thing needs just about everything. The brake lines are totally shot. And then this is the kit we picked up. And it's kind of like one of those erector sets, and it comes with no fucking instructions. One or two of the lines for the back axle, the easy ones that any moron could guess, those ones are labeled. Now the other ones, you got to figure them out. So you kind of got your big unit in your hand, you know what I mean? The Chinese, they don't help you. It says made in China right on the lines. I'm not fond of Dorman products, but as you can see, the years were starting not to be kind to this truck. Somebody was leaving it sit out in the elements uncovered. She's going to go in our secret bunker for the winter and get stored so no more harm comes. We got the fender off. Next thing is, when you have damage that severe, there's no fixing it other than a panel. No can of Bondo is going to fix something like that. If you want to get real close, that's a total TKO. We have a brand new door. We have another fender. And I wanted to mention to people, this is my element of me. The amount of rust that this fender has is going to have me jumping in the truck and going and getting a fender. Because the amount of, even though this was a replacement fender, and some moron, instead of painting it silver on the inside like we did with the other fender that's getting prepped right now, this fender's got some bends and stuff, so it's not worth my effort. The $15 for another used fender, I wanted to tell you people that if the shit's bent up, or it's different if it's a door and there's a little ding in it or something, you can get that out with body work. But this was basically a rust-free fender. It was a Hawk Mountain truck for our wildlife preserve, and the only rust that it had on it whatsoever was right here. I had a little bit of rust there, and they all get that rot right in here, and we went over that with the SEM chip guard. This will keep rot away as well as chips and different things. It has some multi-uses. Believe me, it's a handy product to have. But as you can see, our fender's all prepped, and when we get back from the salvage yard, if we don't get these thunderstorms that they're calling for, I'm going to paint the other side of that fender, and that one's done. So the handy tip is these are the next generation truck that are going to be sought after. I've had a couple of these now. I've had 4. This is my 4th. And I got an older, the square body version, the 90-ish, not the 70s, but the 90s. And that one's going together very nicely now. But these are going to be a sought-after item in a few years. And because of guys like me going to the salvage yard and hogging up parts, you're not going to be able to find them. This has to get cut off. We got to get a battery tray. This is broke. The accident really... I guess when you outrun the cops and they push you into the trees, it doesn't do much for the vehicle. The support is pretty much straight. It was just a fender that was compacted in there, or how could I say, it was really, really pushed hard in there. So anyway, we did get that fender off. It came off actually easier than I anticipated. But these are going to be the next sought-after vehicles. And we're going to clean it up, take it down to car wash with the big old pressure washer, and then we'll get ready to do some body work to her. So right now, she's just, the years have not been kind to her, even though she's very low mileage, 80,000. These trucks are going to be sought after in a few years, in almost any condition. And you're going to find that the parts are no longer available at the salvage yard, just like the Tahoes. The stuff that is going to the boneyard is going to the boneyard, and the stuff that people are going to salvage and save, it's just not going to be there. So now there's going to open up another market for all brand new parts. And that's about the conclusion of my video. We'll get into this brake line mess. I'm not fond of the Chinese. They really work me up, but as you can see, it's all rotted. I don't know. I tried to adjust this camera, the lightness and darkness or whatever. I had to call Vivitar because I'm like monkey nuts. It's like squeezing monkey boobs when you try to fiddle with these electronic things. And in the hood, And actually, I use a different color on my hoods. And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to make it a black hood, and we're going to put I think we're going to put a black Z stripe. I had planned on doing it with that one, and I said, nah, it's too pretty the way it is. I am just not going to put a black Z stripe or anything on the other truck, or a white one. We're going to do it with this one, because I think we're going to get some wide wheels eventually for the back end of her. Right now we got 3 of them under construction and nothing finished. So we're going to try to get this one pretty much ahead of the game. I got to unbolt all that, and the wiring harness and everything. Everything's coming out of that truck in the front there, because it's got to get gone over. AC's getting replaced, condenser. So I might as well go get my fender. Body stuff takes a long time to prep it and get it together, and the mechanical work goes fairly swift, especially when you guys got guys like Slippers. I mean, Vinny's a handy Slippers. He's like the anti-Slippers. So he likes my advice, takes my advice, and does it well. We're going to have a video with the 2 of us screwing around drinking beer. It's getting near the holiday. He's going to be off for the holiday. I'm going to be off. And then we're going to bring you another video, one that makes a little bit more sense. I'll be in it, and I'll be conducting some of my issues. So anyway, that's one of my videos, and we'll have this truck together in a couple of weeks. It will be semi-together, and you can see, the fruits of your efforts. If you put some effort and money into it. It takes money. The paint is expensive. That clear coat is ultra expensive. And half the time when you get it, if you order it online, it's like trying to get, I don't know how they put so much tape and shit on it to keep it sealed or whatever, but you need to have a possum's license or a possum for an instructor to open the paints. So I don't know if that's going to be worth it to you people, because it actually took me almost 15-20 minutes to unpack that clear coat over there. That was last year, but it took me 15-20 minutes just to get it out of the box and get it open. And that's not fair to the consumer, but I went through it, and I just wanted to warn you about online products. Some of this stuff is sealed up there, and you got a problem. But I'm off to the boneyard. Harry's is open today, and the other one, even though I hate Harry's, might be the only place I can get flea. You got a flea? I mean a fender. You want to go for a fender with Dad? You want to go out to the junkyard? Last time they let me take my cat in, he went along. All right, that's our